Hello. I wasn't sure what to bring along tonight, so I flicked through an old notebook and found a few bits and bobs and came across a couple of old incomplete monologues. The first was obviously a misguided attempt at being funny, and the other was a sort of mild rant. Neither were particularly inspiring. I thought I'd try and salvage a few bits of each and cobble them together in the classic comedy line, I hope you won't see the joy. I'll begin with a funny one, supposedly, but that no doubt depends very much on you. As someone once said, you may be the naturally funniest man on the planet and have the best scriptwriter in the world, but if nobody laughs, then you're not a comedian. I am definitely not the funniest person in this room, let alone the planet, and I wrote most of this on a grey Sunday afternoon, so the omens are not particularly encouraging. I was once also told that you should begin with your best joke and finish on your second best, which does sound quite feasible, but unfortunately I don't have any jokes. I'm trying to be more of a modern type of comedian, the sort that don't tell jokes or get laughs. Also, I believe in comedy, timing and a good memory are very important. Having said that, I've just remembered that before the word timing and a sort of comic effect, there was meant to be a big pause. So polar bear jokes aside, it's not been a very good start. Also these days, with political correctness gone mad, it's difficult to actually tell a joke without actually upsetting somebody. Half the jokes I heard as a kid could possibly get you locked up these days. And the fact that Tim Vine has cornered the market and all the others, where do we go from here? For the Haircut 100 fans, there are any about, it's obviously, is it down to the Lake of Fair? But no doubt some of you would gladly submit other suggestions. And heckling, I also believe, is very much part of the comedy scene. I did attempt to prepare myself for such an event with such riposte as, I'm sorry, I only hear good heckles, or the classic, thank you and good night. But like most things in life, you never really know what's around the corner. Though with globalisation today, it's probably either Boots, Poundland, McDonald's or a coffee shop. That last line was possibly bordering on the political, and a number of comedians do excel, though obviously I'm not one of them. Another classic comedy line from many moons ago. Though I must take this opportunity of talking about politics to actually condemn David Cameron, a man with apparently no real political convictions, Mr. Ed Miliband, who has all the electability of a Neil Kinnock, and the other one, whose name escapes me. For these people, for actually putting this country in a position where people could actually consider voting for Farage and his band of bad bastards. Well, politics. What next? Religion, sex, drugs, rock and roll, or mother-in-law jokes? I don't actually have a mother-in-law, so that doesn't stop my other half's mother from constantly auditioning for the role. I could well be on dangerous ground there, though. I'm not aware of a Methodist church next door, and bingo nights have not yet been started here, so I might get away with that one. But now on safer ground, poetry. I've avoided it up to now, though obviously it is rather a soft target. But I have to say that what does annoy me is when poets continually repeat the same line, with some nonsense such as, and the winds of time forever blow down the valleys of the future. Okay, at times it may be effective, and it may have some technical term other than repetition, but I can't help but think that they're just being bloody lazy. Most poems aren't that long, and if you want to say the same thing, then use different words. There's enough of them about. Comedians do it all the time, the same joke formats being constantly changed with the times in an attempt to hopefully maintain a semblance of originality. From Hancock's Half Hour and Before up to Fools and Horses, the same scenarios in different guises, but still regarded as brilliant by the critics, who supposedly are well aware that the winds of time forever blow down the valleys of the future. Thank you.